This is a big opportunity I'm getting so early in my PFL career, you'd say. But like, give me the opportunity. Let me take the risk. Let me have the pressure on me. Let me see if I'm able to deal with the pressure, if I crumble or not. You know what I mean? Not that I'm gonna crumble, but let's just see. Let's just see if I'm gonna crumble. You know what I mean? Let's give myself the opportunity.
They call it a teaser, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see.
After my first pro loss, I went bonkers. You know what I mean? Because I'd never been finished in my career. I got finished in my pro debut, and like I've still never been finished. I've only lost by decision. I lost about that one by TKO. I felt embarrassed, felt the weight of the world on my shoulder, felt like I was useless at that point. And then someone who had dreams all their life to be this MMA star, world champion, achieve great things, to not have any ambitions at all, to be working in a job in a supermarket that I didn't really want to work in. I felt embarrassed, ashamed, and instead of me rectifying the problem and going back to MMA or whatever like that, I'd feel sorry for myself and go out with my mates more. And yourself, once you're going out losing sight of yourself and your goals, and you start going out and partying, messing with chemicals and all that jazz, you're just going to end up fucking up the sink in your brain regardless. One thing I know about this area is just like there's an epidemic of drugs.
Yeah.
And it's just not even this area; it's the whole fucking country, man. Yeah. And I hate to be that party pooper who's telling all the boys to cop on. You know what I mean? But realistically, like, it's not sustainable, and there's just more bad comes from it than good. And I've seen a lot of suicides around the area and stuff like that. As of recent, that scared me. You know what I mean? One of my mates had a very bad accident one night. And just down in the park down there, and that news just shook me to my core, and it was frightening, you know what I mean? And the more I thought about it, I was like, how are people not copping on here? When I was at my lowest point, I really made the decision to myself that I had to make sure that if I'm going to do this, I need to do it the right way. So I started reading more books to understand psychology, why I was thinking the way I was thinking. I read books about like changing habits and understanding how the force of habit can propel you in the right direction. And I used to really underestimate that it was a day-to-day process as opposed to I want to get better in 6 months or whatever it is. Yeah. I just had to take a day-to-day approach. And once I start taking the day-to-day approach and start talking to myself more positively and understanding that the only one stopped me from achieving what I wanted to achieve and to get better was myself, and there has to be an end goal here, and that's the US season. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I need to be getting in this tournament eventually. So if it's 2024, happy days. If it's 2025, I'll have 3 or 4 more fights experience behind me, and that'll just fuel me into that season. So I'm hoping that whatever opportunity comes my way, I'll be fit and willing. There's this real sense of community in Finglas that they really love to get behind their own. And even at that, when Serdy was doing well, I swear to God, I used to idolise the fella because he was only from, like, his daughter is my sister's friend. Wow. And they were in the same class, you know what I mean? So I used to always see him as like a superstar, you know what I mean, when I was really young. And because he had the working class background, he was working a full-time job and fighting in the UFC. You know what I mean? That just blew my mind, and it really showed something into who he was as a person. And if I thought if I can have a bit of that and bring that into my career, I'll be doing very well for myself.
What do you think the legacy of PFL in Ireland will be? Like, when you think about this, like, I don't think this is a softly approach from these lads at all. Like, I think this is still going to be here in 5 years' time.
Never really saw something like this in European MMA initially. The 100k getting splashed out to the winners of you win 3 fights, are getting 100k. Like, do you know what I mean? It's impressive, like, you know what I mean? And I think there's a draw there. It just needs to be obviously the right marketing and all that jazz behind it, and it can really take off. But I hope the atmosphere and the night is electric and everything else that goes with it at an Irish MMA event, so that they see that there's a good market here, and that I hope then the fans enjoy the experience. So then the fans want to come back again, you know what I mean? Like, you have to think about it. There's like 4 finals on the night. You know, it's 100k to each person. There's people trying to qualify for tournaments and blah, blah, blah. The tension and anxieties and all that jazz, everything that makes an MMA event is going to be there on this night. and it's going to be like, you know, that hostile kind of nervous feeling from between the fighters, and providing obviously the right results go the right way for all the fighters that are meant to be winning on paper, you can have a really special night. And then from there, they've ended the year on something positive, and then they know what they can work on then going into 2024 and try to build on it. And